Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Now I'd like to talk about mechanical keyboards. I bought my first mechanical keyboard I think 1 or 2 months ago. Before that I have never used a mechanical keyboard. I had no idea what's really the difference between a, so to say, normal average keyboard and a mechanical keyboard, and why is it good to have a mechanical keyboard. But somehow I got interested in this matter and I started to research the mechanical keyboards, and I was convinced that I really need a good mechanical keyboard. I cannot deny I'm a geek, so I like typing on my keyboard, I like the terminal in Linux. For me the keyboard is really the primary interface between me and my computer. So it kind of makes sense to have a really good keyboard. And you know, the rubber dome keyboards that most people use, that, you know, the keyboards that come with the PCs, the keyboards that are in most of the laptops, or I think in all of the laptops, they are the so-called rubber dome keyboards. But mechanical keyboards are not only distinguished by you know, them being mechanical, but also many of the mechanical keyboards have a higher or they are made of a higher quality material. So generally the quality of a mechanical keyboard is better than a rubber dome keyboard. Okay, let's see some examples, because there are very important and major differences between mechanical keyboards. There are a lot of gaming keyboards on the market. For example, I just opened Newegg, the website of Newegg, and here you can buy a lot of so-called gaming keyboards, and I have filtered out the mechanical keyboards which have Cherry MX switches. So first of all, if you have a mechanical keyboard, then it means the reason it's mechanical because each key has a mechanical switch. So if you press down a key, you actually press down on a switch, which switches your keyboard. In contrast, if you have a rubber dome keyboard, you press down on a rubber dome, which when you bottom out, it makes contact, and that's the way your keyboard works. But if you have a mechanical keyboard, mechanical switches don't have to be pressed down all the way to make contact. Okay, but the point I want to get to is that, for example, there are these gaming keyboards. You know, these are the popular ones. If you do a search after mechanical keyboards on YouTube, I think most of the results are going to be about this kind of gaming keyboards. And you know, they look cool, they are shiny, most of them have RGB backlighting. For example, let's see an example. Corsair, almost 200 euros. How does it look? You know, it is beautiful. Can we have it bigger? Beautiful RGB colors. you know, dedicated things for media control, volume control, dedicated buttons. Yeah, here are the media control buttons, the volume control. Some of the more expensive keyboards also have USB ports on them, so I mean they can be used as a USB hub. So you know they are fancy. They look nice, they are fancy. Some cases they are expensive, but there is a big but, and what is it? The quality is not necessarily as good as you would think based on the price and all this fanciness and shininess, because most keyboards are made of plastic, and also the keycaps are mostly made of plastic. But there is, you know, not every plastic is made equal. There's a huge difference between different kinds of plastic. For example, most of these keyboards have a so-called ABS plastic. I mean the keycaps and also the case. Maybe the case is made of a so-called ABS plastic, which is a cheaper kind of plastic, which is not so durable. The higher quality, more durable kind of plastic is called PBT. But these ones, even for 200 euros, you know, I cannot prove it for you right now because I would have to research it, but at the time I was looking for a mechanical keyboard, I researched the matter very well, and these keyboards, even for almost 200 euros, they do come with the cheaper, lower quality ABS material. And also what is very important with keyboards is the printing of the, you know, all of these letters and yeah, the printing of the on the keycaps. And in many cases, these symbols on the keycaps are going to fade away as you use them, because the more you use the keyboard, the more times you press down with your finger, you know, this printing just fades away. And this is because the printing is not a quality printing, or how should I say it, you know, this solution of printing the characters, the letters, the symbols on the keycaps is not durable. And what you want for durability is so-called either double-shot PBT keycaps, or there is also double-shot ABS keycaps, or dye-sublim. How is it properly called? Dye-sublimated keycaps? Yeah, something like that. The thing is that the symbols on the keycaps shouldn't be just, you know, paint, because they are going to fade away. Double-shot and dye-sublimated keycaps differentiate themselves in the way that the symbols on them are made of a different material, different plastic. I mean, a different piece of plastic than the keycap itself. So because the symbols are not just paint, but actually plastic with a different color, they will never fade away. So that's why you want double shot or dye sublimated keycaps. And with these keyboards, you're almost guaranteed that you won't get such keycaps. Okay. So these are the popular ones, the shiny ones. They are I'm sure they are great. A lot of people have them, a lot of people are satisfied with them, a lot of people love them. But after researching, and a great place to research mechanical keyboards is Reddit. So just search on Reddit. You can read a ton of posts about people's experiences and opinions and reviews and a lot of stuff, and you can make a really good informed decision if you do a research. And after doing my research, I really realized that I wanted a high quality mechanical keyboard, so I stopped looking at these popular fancy keyboards. High quality is also fancy, so it can be fancy. It's not what I mean, but these popular keyboards are really made to be, shiny, colorful, so that they catch the catch your attention, and you just look at it and you think, oh, it's so beautiful, it has so many features. Yeah, it's worth almost 200 euros. That's the one I need, I want. But not necessarily if you do your research. Okay. There are some good places where you can buy the really high quality mechanical keyboards. For example, Candy Keys, but there are a lot of websites. A very important part of every mechanical keyboard is, of course, the mechanical switch itself. And there are a lot of different kind of switches, but the most popular ones are the Cherry MX switches. And here popularity is not bad. So the Cherry MX switches are really industry leader switches, because they are that good, and they have been around for, I think, for the longest, maybe for the longest, Don't take it for granted. But MX switches are those that really have been around for a very long time, and they always have been a very high quality. Okay. And there are different brands. These brands are not the popular ones like Corsair or Cooler Master or whatever. So if you don't actually research mechanical keyboards, you won't really see these brands. At least I never saw these brands, because mostly you can buy these brands on websites like Candy Keys or whatever. Just do a research. Just search on Reddit for mechanical keyboards, and you will find a lot of suggestions where to buy high quality so-called enthusiast mechanical keyboards. And I really did a lot of research. I think I researched for a month or maybe 2 months to find the right keyboard for me, because if you have never used a mechanical keyboard before, the difficulty is that you don't know your preference. Even from Cherry MX switches, there are a lot of different kinds of switches. There are the red switches, the brown switches, the blue switches. The blue ones are loud, clicky ones, with tactile feedback. The brown ones are the, so to say, silent ones without clickiness but with tactile feedback. The red ones are so-called linear ones with no tactile feedback and no clickiness. And there are also the brands, the different layouts. If you want ISO, if you want ANSI. But I would suggest, if you live in Europe and your native language is is not English but some European language. For example, I am Hungarian. My native language is of course Hungarian, and I live in Austria, so I use German, but at my workplace I use English. I mean, of course, not just English, but at my workplace my keyboard is an ANSI American keyboard, so most of the communication is done in English. So for me it was really a question between ANSI or ISO. What I mean by that, ISO is the kind of layout that you are used to in Europe with this kind of enter key. You have an extra key here. ANSI is the US American keyboard, which has a, you have one less key on it, and the enter key has a different shape. Yeah. So you have to decide this one. You have to decide first of all the switch. What switch do you want? For that you have to read a lot, and the most important thing is that you have to listen and watch a lot of YouTube videos about different switches. Just search for MX Brown, Cherry MX Brown, Cherry MX Blue, whatever. There are great videos comparing the different switches, and great tests. People just type for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes on a keyboard, and you can really hear how a certain switch or a certain keycap sounds, because there are just such a lot of different kinds of everything. Yeah, as you see, for example, this is a Varmilo keyboard. I also have a Varmilo. Actually, I have this one, but the picture is a VA88M, which means it's a ISO layout, because ISO has 88 keys. So the picture does not correspond to with the title here. The title VA87M is a 87 key ANSI layout keyboard. But whatever. As you see here, this one has Cherry MX switches, the brown switches, the cases, ABS, plastic. The keycaps are PBT keycaps. And what about the printing? There are LEDs, but where is the printing? Is it double shot? Is it dye-sublimated? What is it? What? PBT with top prints? Is it that? Pad printed? Okay. Whatever. Yeah, just have a look at the brands. There are the Leopold keyboards, the Varmilo keyboards, the Vortex keyboards, and also the size is a very important question. For example, you have the Vortex Poker 3. This is a 60% keyboard, which means, is there an RGB one? Because the ones with RGB backlighting are so insanely cool. Okay, I don't see any. Yeah, let's just have a look at one of these. You see? It's very small, only 60% of a normal keyboard, which means that this keyboard has a special firmware on it, a microcontroller, and you have a function key to access the arrow keys and all those insert, delete, and other keys that you normally find on a normal keyboard. You know, it's great because with this solution your fingers never have to leave the home row, so this middle row here. So if you like touch typing, such a size and layout is great for you. But if you absolutely need arrow keys, or I mean dedicated arrow keys, or delete, insert, and home and such keys, then of course you would need a 100% keyboard or a 10 keyless keyboard instead. Okay, let's see, let's have a look at this one. A 10 keyless keyboard looks like this. I have one of the, not this brand, but I've got a 10 keyless keyboard. You see there is no numpad. And I chose a TKL keyboard because I almost never need the numpad, because the numbers are up here. And anyways, it's much more convenient for me if I don't have to leave the home row in my fingers, and I don't have to reach for the numpad. You know, it's much easier just to reach with my finger here for the numbers. So I decided that I don't need a numpad. And you know, the advantage is that it's much smaller, so you save a lot of space on your desk. You can reach your mouse much quicker, much easier, and so on. Okay, let's see what I have. I have Varmilo, and actually I ordered directly from Varmilo, not from the not from the shop on the website, but I ordered it via email. The reason is that there is no HTTPS on this website, and I didn't want to pay online without HTTPS. So I chose my keyboard, which was 60%. No, not 60%, 80%. And I wrote them an email about which keyboard I wanted, and they sent me a PayPal invoice. I paid it, and they sent me the keyboard. It took, I think, 4 weeks, so it was very slow, but I don't care. It was coming from China. The quality is more important for me than the speed of delivery. Okay. Which one? Dye-sub, which one? Which one did I buy? I think it's, yeah, it is this one, the charcoal one. So this is the one I bought, because I just like the color scheme. And of course, because I can do touch typing, so I can touch typing, but I'm not so good just yet at touch typing as I would like to be. But you know, the way I type is really touch typing, so that's why I really don't need to have a. I don't need I'm sorry, I'm tired. I don't need to have the letters, the legends, to be very visible. So because I touch type, so that's why I chose this one. I like this color scheme a lot. That it's just so dark. It's so cool. It's beautiful. I find it really beautiful. And the cool thing about this keyboard is that you can, you know, the cable is not fixed into the keyboard, but you can plug in a USB. I think it's a micro USB cable. Yes. And there is this floating keycap design. So you see there is a space between the case and the keycaps itself. So the keycaps only touch the casing if you press them all the way down. You know, it's just an aesthetic thing. It has nothing to do with the usage, but I like this design. Yeah, it has some features, multimedia key features. You can disable the Windows button. You can swap the functionality of caps lock and control or something like that. So there are a few things you can adjust. I have the brown switches because I went to a huge store and I had the chance to test the which ones, how do you call them, the Razer keyboards with Razer green switches, and the green switches are really like the Cherry MX Blue switches, that they are clicky and they have a tactile feedback and they are clicky. And at first I really loved this one. I thought I decided to buy Cherry MX Blues. But then, you know, I watched some more videos, I tried it more, and I really came to the realization that if I have a clicky keyboard, then after some time, I think all this clicking would become annoying for me. And also, I have a family, and loud clicking is not really desired. If you have a wife and you have kids, they won't necessarily like your clicking. So that's why I bought the brown switches, which do have a subtle tactile feedback. Because I just like to feel when the switch actuates, and by actuating I mean when you press it down and you feel the tactile feedback. This is the point when your key press was registered by the keyboard and was sent, the character was sent to your PC. So this is actuation, but it's not clicky. It only makes sound if you bottom it out. If you do not bottom it out, it's silent. But the tactile feedback is not very strong, it's subtle. There are, for example, the black ones. These are linear, these are harder to press than the red ones. And there are also some other switches that are tactile but harder to press than the brown. Yeah, whatever. I'm happy with the brown switches. Also, I bought the ISO layout and the UK layout. First, I wanted to buy an ANSI layout, but you know, I thought, for example, if I ever want to type in Hungarian, which is possible because I am Hungarian, but actually I never type in Hungarian. I almost never type in German. I almost always type in English. But if these keyboards are really high quality. So these are going to be keyboards for many years. So I really have to think ahead. If I ever have to type in Hungarian in the coming years, I need a keyboard which has this extra key here. You don't have this key here on a ANSI American keyboard. And on the Hungarian keyboard, there is a letter on it which is very frequently used in the Hungarian language. And if I don't have this key here, I cannot type this letter easily. I tried it. I can type this letter if I have an ANSI layout and I choose. So on my keyboard I have an ANSI layout, but I choose a different key layout in Linux, you know, I can get around this, and I can type this letter on the Hungarian keyboard here with a keyboard combination. But you know, it's not easy. This letter, which is here on the Hungarian keyboard, is used very, very frequently in the Hungarian language, and I would shoot myself in the foot if I didn't have this keyboard, this key available. So that's why I bought a UK keyboard, UK layout, because it is the most similar to the American layout, but I have my desired key here if I ever need it. Okay. Yeah, actually it's in Hungarian, also available in Hungarian, but I don't need a Hungarian layout keyboard. Okay, what else? And I ordered it with red LEDs, because this dark color scheme with red backlighting is just so great. And one other thing, these keycaps are not shine through, which means that the backlight, the light from the LED will not shine through the letters. So you just see the, you know, the light is coming out from under the keycaps, and I find it beautiful, and I don't need the shine through keycaps because I touch type. Ideally, I do not look at the keyboard when I type. Okay, so how I did it, I shot an email to this email address. I described what I want with red LEDs and so on, and with red LEDs it was, I think, $130, shipping and customs included, because it's coming from China. You can buy Varmilo on other web stores that are located in Europe, so you can get it shipped from Europe as well. But at the time I wanted to buy it, it wasn't available in any European web store, and also if it was available, they only offered it with white LEDs, but I wanted red LEDs. Okay, that's enough talk about the keyboard. Let's see the keyboard now. So this is the... Come on. No. This is the keyboard itself. You see, this is the detachable cable. And let's see the backlighting. Let's do it like that. See? I find it beautiful. Of course, if you sit down in front of the keyboard and type, you won't see it from this angle, but rather from this angle. Oh. Sorry guys. I want to make it bigger. Way bigger. Okay. I know, the quality is horrible. Horrible. Oops, what am I doing? Come on. I want to make it smaller. Come on. No. What's the matter? What's the matter? Okay, let's turn on the lights. Will the quality be better? Okay. And this one has, where is the description? This one has got high quality PBT keycaps. It's dye-sublimated. Where is it? Specification? Yeah, this website is strange. But the keyboard is great. So I can really recommend this keyboard. I can recommend it. Where? Okay, I don't find it anywhere right now. Top dye-sub. Dye-sub. Which means that you see the legends here. These are not printed, but the legends are molded into it, like you know, it's a separate piece of plastic in it with a different color, and it's never gonna fade. Of course, because I touch type, I don't really need the legends. But you know, if I want to look at it, if I forget something, if I don't know where is some kind of character, it's a good thing that the legends are there, and I can find anything that I need. Yeah, the caps lock key is like that. You see the LED? Yeah. Yeah, this is it. You know, and it has a weight to it. The ordinary rubber dome keyboards are very, very light, and which means that they move very, very easily around on your desk. So, but this one, I put it down, you know, it won't move easily. I really have to push it to move it. And if I type, it's rock solid. Okay. Let's do now, I don't know how audible would be the key presses, but let's do some acoustic demonstration. You know, these brown switches only make sound if you bottom out the keycap, and I like the sound. You know, it is music to my ears. You know what I do? I put the microphone here, and I just type. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to see it, so just, yeah, open something else. In the meanwhile, what should we open? Fedora. Yeah. Yeah, on Fedora, if you just install Fedora, you won't be able to play videos in Firefox or Chromium or anything. You have to install this thing. This one, I don't know. I think this one. Whatever. I had to use this solution here because I was unable to play videos, even YouTube videos, by default. Okay, whatever. I like the sound of these keycaps. Oh, what am I doing? You know, you see, you can turn off the backlighting, you can tune it up, tune it down. There are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. There are 4 levels, 4 brightness levels. Usually I keep it on the lowest level, because if you touch type you don't really look at the keyboard, but it's a nice decoration to have a red light. And also because if you sit in front of the keyboard and type, you know, you see the keyboard from this angle, and if it's on the brightest level, it is really way too bright. It can be disturbing, so that's why I keep it mostly on the lowest brightness level. Okay. Whatever. Ooh. The background is not really great there. Okay, that's it. Yeah, by the way, this is a great website if you want to learn or just practice touch typing. It's the best touch typing exercise I have ever done. Keyboard.com. Just go there, try it. Also, if you just want to start with learning, if you just want to start learning touch typing, it is a great way. Okay. What else do I have to say about mechanical keyboards? Yeah. The thing about it, you see, it costs, I think it was at the end about 150 euros for me, or 140, I don't know, but you know, it's way under 200 euros. And we had this, I have already closed it, this Corsair keyboard, which was almost 200 euros. Of course, this one doesn't have RGB LEDs. There are a lot of keyboards with, I mean, high quality keyboards like this with RGB backlighting and so on. But you see, it is much cheaper than the Corsair one, but the quality is much higher. The quality of the materials is much higher. It doesn't have an USB hub. It doesn't have dedicated multimedia keys. But you know, I tried in a store those Corsair keyboards, and this keyboard feels so much better to type on. You can just feel the quality. If you look at it in person, you can just see the quality. You know, the Corsair one may be so fancy and shiny, but this one is so elegant. It's so, there is something to it that is you know, that just radiates out that it is a high quality keyboard. It's not something that everybody has. Okay. What else? Ah, yeah, the ducky keyboards. I almost bought a ducky keyboard because ducky keyboards are also very good, and they are easily available in Europe. There are some websites. I think it was alternate.be or NL, where you can buy great mechanical keyboards. Also mechkeyboards.eu. There are a lot of duckies here, and the duckies have I mean, many of them have shine-through keycaps with backlighting, and these are the duckies that are available now. And the one I really liked, these ones the midnight, the skyline, and the horizon, they don't have backlighting, but the Taki 1-2 does have backlighting, white or blue. I really liked the blue backlighting first, but I did some research and actually I use my computer at home exclusively in the evenings because I go to work, and on the weekends I also only have time in the evenings. So red light is said to be, it's not only said to be, but it's also science that red light is better for your eyes. I mean, for example, blue light makes your brain think even in the evening that it's daytime, and it's not that easy to just go to bed and sleep after your eyes are exposed to blue light. And there's some science to it that if you look at red light, then it won't make your brain think that it's daytime, so you can sleep in much easier. So that's why I chose the red light. But I don't know if it's really that significant, but I like the combination of this stealthy black, gray, dark color scheme and the red light. It's just so awesome. But these duckies are also very good. They have an USB-C connector, and they are beautiful. They are also very high quality. So if you want to buy a real good mechanical keyboard, first of all you have to make up your mind about which kind of switch you want, which brand, Cherry MX, whatever. If you are a complete newbie, beginner to mechanical keyboards like I was, I recommend you buy a keyboard with Cherry MX switches. If you are not sure about whether you like clickiness or not, just get a brown one. I read a great comment on Reddit. Someone said or wrote that your first mechanical keyboard is going to teach you your preferences, and this is so true. So if you have never used a mechanical keyboard before, you can go to stores, you can try the keyboards that are available there, you can watch and listen to YouTube videos, you can watch and read reviews, and you really have to do all of that if you want to make a informed decision. But you really have to get a mechanical keyboard and use it, and then you will find out what is the right thing for you. And because I have done a lot of research, I'm very happy with this keyboard. I'm very happy with the MX Brown switches. I'm very happy with this brand, with the layout, with the size, I mean with the 10 keyless size, with the keycap design, that it's like this floating design. I'm happy with Varmilo. But if you're a complete beginner, do your research, and I recommend getting a keyboard with Cherry MX Brown switches. And also 60% keyboards are very, very attractive to me. And actually I use this keyboard, even this keyboard, as a 60% keyboard most of the time, because in KDE, I set keyboard shortcuts that if, for example, I press the Windows key and the keys on the home row, then they are a substitution for the arrow keys, and also there are, with key combinations you can substitute the delete, the insert, the home and end and all of these keys on the home row and on the home row or close to the home row. So your fingers never have to leave the home row, even if you want to, even if you need to move the cursor, or if you need the functionality of home and insert, whatever. But I started using i3. i3 is a window manager. It's not a desktop environment. And in i3, I have to set these keyboard shortcuts in another way. I haven't done it yet. So in i3, I cannot use this keyboard as a 60% keyboard yet. But in KDE, I already use this keyboard as a 60% keyboard, and it's very comfortable. But it's also very good to have dedicated arrow keys. Mainly because, you know, this is my desktop PC, and my wife during the day she comes here, sits down and turns on the computer, uses it. So that's why I have to take into consideration this also, that it's not only me who uses this computer. If it was only me, I would have a 60% keyboard. I would only have i3, and no one else in the family would be able to use my computer. But I have to keep KDE or some kind of desktop environment besides i3, because if my wife logs into i3, she cannot even log out of it. So she needs to log into KDE, I log into i3. And I use this keyboard as a 60% keyboard. She uses it as a TKL keyboard. Yeah, I think it was enough. It's late. Oh, it's past 11. And I have to go work tomorrow. So I call it a day. This is a long video. I hope that audio, video and everything is in order, because I hope that I haven't been talking here in a vain for so long. Yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.